fourth quarter of play. Florida State leading Navy 24-6. Jimmy Jordan gets rid of the football. Ramsey makes the catch. Very short gain. Bart Nixon, defensive end, number 88, made the stop on Ramsey. It's a pickup of 2. It will be 3rd down 6. Most of you will be in your living rooms Monday night, as live at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, ABC's NFL Monday Night Football brings you the Miami Dolphins versus the Houston Oilers. Miami with an 8-3 record, tied with New England for first place in the AFC East, I should say. They have in Belvin Williams, the number 1 rusher in the AFC. Houston is coming on with Earl Campbell, their great Rookie of the Year candidate. On 3rd down 6, Jordan throws complete over the middle to Bill Keck, and the big tight end from Newark, Ohio, gets it all the way out to midfield to pick up an FSU first down. Gain of 14 on the play.
All right, Jordan drops straight back. Bill Keck from the tight end position delays, then a couple of counts, then moves upfield, makes the catch underneath the linebackers, and then with his good size, 6'2", 220, moves it upfield for more yardage.
Our local stations will get their break right after this play. Jordan wants to throw again. Deep to Platt, he's all alone. Touchdown. '51-yard touchdown pass. 3rd touchdown of the day for Sam Platt. 3rd touchdown pass by Jimmy Jordan. The man for whom Jordan took over at quarterback, Wally Woodham. There's Davy Kaplan, who will kick out of Wooden's hole to try to make it 31-6. Kick is up and good. And with 13:50 remaining in the 3rd quarter, Jimmy Jordan continues to bomb away on Navy. It's 31. Ready to kick it off for FSU. Kicking from the right hash mark to Dwayne Dennis. Dennis takes it at his 4 and is blocked. The 16-yard line. Number 64 is Jarvis Coursey.
Here's the touchdown play. Jimmy Jordan to Sam Platt. The 5th pass, 3rd touchdown pass. I can't tell whether it's man or zone, but he hit Sam Platt, and you can tell that Chuck Zingler, who has been pretty much ridiculed by Sam Platt, was about 10 yards behind him for the touchdown.
Well, you gotta have sympathy for Zingler. He has a tough job covering a very speedy receiver out there, and he's not getting enough help from his safety net.
There's the 3rd quarter statistics. What's really starting to bear in mind, be an influence in this football game. Of course, FSU's passing, 281 yards, but the turnovers, 3 turnovers of Navy. Field position also has been another part of the game. Florida State's not got enough, had the ball as long as Navy, but they've been able to do something with it when they had it.
On 1st down from the 17-yard line, Wyszynski gives to Sherlock, and he gets it only to the 19. Now, this program is being brought to you as a special exclusive of ABC Sports. Let's pause 5 seconds to allow our local stations to identify themselves. There's Mike Sherlock, the Navy tailback, who's had a tough day, playing in place of the injured Steve Callahan. That time, Sherlock gets across the 20 to about the 23. Keith Jones, strong safety man, came up to make the stop for the Seminoles. For Sherlock, 12 carries for 17 yards in the ballgame. Florida State defense began to play very well in the 2nd quarter against Virginia Tech a week ago. They have sustained it throughout this afternoon's action. Sherlock again. He is dropped well short of the 1st down. Walter Carter, number 76, a junior tackle from Richmond, Virginia, hit him first. And again, Art Ohanian will come on to punt the ball away for Navy. Attendance today, nearly 46,000, 45,795. Just a few hundred short of capacity, and the biggest home crowd of the year for the Seminoles of Florida State. Ohanian, one of the bright spots for Navy. He's punted well. Keith Jones. Dragged down from behind. Good play by number 38, Chris Platt. 34-yard punt for Ohanian. And with 11:58 remaining in the ball game, FSU leading it 31-6. We'll be back. That showdown very important immediately following this. Southern Cal UCLA. On first down, Holmes Johnson carrying the football for Florida State. Seminoles moving from their 37-yard line. Johnson gets to the 39. It will be second down 8. As I mentioned earlier, some of the viewers in this area of the country will be seeing either Florida A&M versus Southern or Western Carolina versus Appalachian State instead of that Southern Cal UCLA game. Second and 8. Jimmy Jordan still at the controls for Florida State. The statue give to Mark Lyles. This time it works. Lyles goes to the 50-yard line and into Navy territory before Fred Reitzel made the stop for the midshipman.
There's Lyles. He goes like he's going to block, then reverse pivots like a basketball player, and then goes around and makes some yardage. Well, there's a little good block on the side. Makes some good yards on the backside.
Number 69, Mike Good, the junior offensive guard from Sanford, Florida, the celery capital of the world. He's the man who came up with that big block.
Now, how'd you know that?
Yeah, I used to live down here.
Celery capital of the world.
On first down, Jordan is looking for Unglaub. And he almost had it. Just off Unglaub's hands near the goal line. Bob Wilson, number 14, a senior cornerback from Wheeling, West Virginia, was back there with him. They had pretty good coverage on Unglaub, but Jordan threw a perfect pass.
He really did, Jimmy, and from our perspective, it looked like he was about to throw it out of the stadium. I wish I could throw the ball that far. As you know, I can't.
I know.
I can't throw it that pretty either.
Next Friday and Saturday on ABC, 3 more big games. NCAA College Football Friday live at 1 o'clock Eastern Time, Pitt versus Penn State. Then Saturday, 12:30, Michigan, Ohio State. 4 o'clock, Notre Dame, USC. Jordan throwing complete this time to the tight end, Bill Keck. And Keck is dropped at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of only 3. It will be third down and 7. Greg Milo, junior roverback from Columbus, Ohio, whom you met way back in the pregame, made the stop for Navy. So this is another rough day for a very crippled Navy team, but it does not dim the luster of the great accomplishment that they began this season with. 7 straight wins. Platt over the middle. Almost broke a tackle and got away. As it is, he has another catch. A first down for Florida State. The ball all the way down to the 27-yard line.
Platt is just unbelievable. 9.8 speed. He's going to do a deep look-in pattern. He's working again on Zingler, number 36, who's had Platt coming to his side most of the time. He misses the block, or misses the tackle, and then Reitzel makes the final stop.
Gives you an idea how Florida State is deep in receivers. Platt is a reserve, playing in place of Jackie Flowers, who's injured. Holmes Johnson, struggling for yardage, gets it near the 20.
Platt was a running back first part of spring practice, and then they moved him to split receiver, and I imagine Bobby Bowden is very pleased with his performance today as he starts and catching the football quite well.
He's only a sophomore. He's from Jacksonville, Florida, 5'11", 183 pounds. Had 12 catches coming into today's game, and he already has 6 catches today for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. He is the intended receiver. No, he isn't. Touchdown pass is to number 85, Brady King, the junior tight end from Satellite Beach. He beat Fred Reitzel at the goal line.
There are so many stars in this ball game offensively for Florida State. Jimmy Jordan, I think, is one we've got to talk about. He did not start. He dropped straight back. He's going to hit 85, Grady King, who's working on Reitzel, and he drills it right where it's supposed to be. Jimmy Jordan has had an exceptional day. Hasn't he?
Bobby Bowden calls him my fastball pitcher. bring him on in relief just like Goose Gossett for the Yankees. Kaplan nails the extra point. Florida State has stretched the lead to 38-6. Jimmy Jordan is red hot. Capice kicks off for Florida State. John Ross takes it very deep in the end zone, wisely elects not to bring it out. And right now we're getting ready to look again at slow motion of the touchdown pass from Jimmy Jordan to Grady King.
Again, Jimmy Jordan, last year's Tangerine Bowl MVP, throwing to 86 Bill Keck across the middle. Bingo. Grady King, I'm sorry. Right across the middle. He came from left to right across the middle on the tight end, and so Reitzel had to pick him up.
Not surprising to learn that as you look at number 30, Kevin Tolbert, breaking out of the Navy backfield, and on the biggest running play gain of the day for the midshipman, Tolbert picks up 20 yards out to the 40-yard line, and a first down for Navy. It's not surprising here at pass-oriented Florida State, with their great history of passing and catching, that the record for touchdown passes in a game is 5, held by Tensey, Kappelman, and Gary Huff, 3 of the great QBs who played here and went on to play in the National Football League or the American Football League. Completion from Lashinsky to number 89, Sandy Jones. And Jones, the senior wingback from Vallejo, California, is all the way down to the Florida State 21-yard line. Navy won't quit.
You wouldn't expect a Navy team to quit, as Lashinsky looks inside, then hits Sandy Jones down the right side, working one-on-one on 21, Bobby Butler, and made a great grab. The ball was bobbled a couple of times. Great concentration, tucks it away, big play for Navy, good field position again. Watch the ball bobbled. He's bobbling it, tosses it, goes down, catches it.
40-yard gain. Biggest play of the day for the midshipman. That time, Sandy Jones drops the quick hitch pass in his backfield. And it's an incompletion. It will be second down 10 from the Florida State 21. 77 Bott leaves. 65 Barker comes in at offensive tackles. Those are the 2 men that Welsh has used throughout most of the day to bring in the plays. Setbacks now are 30 Tolbert, the sophomore fullback from Hempstead, New York, and 42 Dave Walker. Plenty of time for Lashinsky. Now he's going to run. Got a good block. Gets inside the 10 all the way down to the 6-yard line. A 15-yard gain on the scramble by Bob Lashinsky. 62 Charles Ferguson, a freshman linebacker from Delray Beach, whom Bobby Bowden expects to play a great deal in the next few years, finally made the tackle. Watch Sandy Jones block.
Sandy Jones, when Lashinsky comes out of the backfield to run the football, makes the block that frees him. Bob does not like, Lashinsky does not like to run the football that much. He was forced out of it, but he did.
Walker in motion. Lashinsky cuts inside, loses the football, and Navy retains it, but loses yardage back to the 8. Number 30 was Kevin Tolbert, who got on top of the ball. Lashinsky on the day now, 10 for 18 for 188 yards. Not a bad day throwing the ball. Not a bad quarter for Jimmy Jordan. Again, nothing on the running play as Kevin Tolbert is stacked up.
Seminoles have been extremely tough on the inside. We've talked about it all afternoon, but that's where the war has been won. Stopping Navy, what they wanted to do, a running team, came in here, wanted to run, and had to establish it, and Ron Simmons and company have been able to pretty much turn them back and force them into the air.
This is the number 2 defense in the ball game now for FSU, with the exception of a few players. Bobby Butler still in there in a corner. Florida State is not deep in secondary men. They've got the number 2 defensive line out there. On 3rd and goal from the 7.5, Lashinsky can't get rid of the football. By the time his arm went in motion to throw, he had already been stripped of the ball. Scott McLean, number 60, and Scott Warren, number 80, were in there for FSU, putting the pressure on him. They were the 2 defensive ends. There's Warren.
Watch his arm go forward, Jimmy. He's trying to throw the ball. He gets a lot of pressure, as you said, from the 2 ends. Richardson and McLean in the ball game, but his arm was going forward. That is an incomplete pass.
Navy now 2 of 13 on third down conversions in the ball game. They just have not been able to do it in those key situations. Fourth down from just outside the 7. They go for the touchdown. Setbacks are Tolbert and Walker. Wyszynski wants to throw. Almost. Intended receiver was Chapman in the end zone. No, check it. 85, not 35. That's Matt McLaughlin, who made a big catch earlier in the ball game, but he couldn't hold on that time. We've got 6 minutes and 5 seconds remaining. Florida State is wrapping up at what is now a 38-6 lead. There's the situation as Jimmy Jordan starts the Florida State offense inside his own 10. He's still throwing. He's got Unglaub if he holds on, and he couldn't. Good defensive play over there on the corner by the man who was covering Unglaub. And that was number 14, Bobby Wilson. As you look at George Welsh, expectation before the ball game was that win or lose, Navy was probably going to receive a bid to the Holiday Bowl in San Diego to play the winner of the Western Athletic Conference Championship, most likely Brigham Young. Hard to say at this point whether or not that bid will be extended. We haven't heard anything here in the press box. This, of course, is the day on which bowl bids will be going out. Greg Ramsey, junior from Fort Lauderdale, who scored the first touchdown of the ball game for Florida State back in the second quarter, carries the football across the 10 to the 12-yard line. Pickup of 5. It will be third down 5 for the Seminoles now. Peach Bowl scouts and Hall of Fame Bowl scouts and some others are here to look at Florida State. Doubtless they have liked what they've seen.
They have been impressive.
Jordan throwing again. Platt dropped one. Well, everybody can make one mistake. Reisel was the man who was covering. That was a good throw, and Platt should have made the catch.
He's not dropped many.
On the basis of the day he's had, I doubt that Bobby Bowden is too worried. Fourth down now, punting situation. Ron Stark, who had a big first half kicking the ball and has not had to kick it much in this half, comes on to punt. 5:25 remaining. Sandy Jones is back at his own 45 for Navy. He will come up and call for the fair catch and make it at the Florida State 48. This week on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football, live at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, the Miami Dolphins, with their 8-3 record, tied for first place with New England in the AFC East. Delvin Williams, the #1 rusher in the AFC, against Houston, 7-4 record, second place in the AFC Central, pushing Pittsburgh. Last year's Heisman Trophy winner Earl Campbell is currently #2 in rushing in the AFC. So you'll see the top 2 runners in that conference and 2 very good football teams on Monday night. Bobby Powers in the game now at quarterback for Navy. Wants to throw. Got away from Ferguson and now manages to get downfield to about the 40-yard line before 54 Arthur Scott dragged him down. Pickup of 9 yards on the scramble by Powers. It'll be second down and a yard for Navy.
Navy's got a lot to look forward to, though. They've got Army coming up later on this season, the biggie.
In a game that will be seen over most of these ABC stations. 42 is Dave Walker. And Walker gets the football inside the 35 to about the 33. It's a first down for the midshipmen. Continuing to work against what is mostly a #2 Florida State defense. Not too many starters still in the ball game for the Seminoles on defense. Powers was keeping the football all the way. He was met by Ferguson. Bobby Bowden likes his linebackers quick, not necessarily big. Reggie Herring is only 200 pounds and Hanks is only 210. They're the starters. Ferguson weighs 199 and Keith Baker 185. They are both freshmen, and they are the 2 backup linebackers. As we've mentioned before, 19 of 22 starters will be back next year for FSU. Only 5 5 seniors on the roster. On 2nd and 8, Powers fakes for Walker, throws deep for Sandy Jones, and the interception is made in the end zone by Hector Gray, the junior defensive back from Miami, who had a bead on the football all the way. So Florida State will take over at their 20-yard line. We'll see if Jordan will remain in the ballgame at quarterback. He does. First down, Jordan still throwing. Over the middle, number 84 is Sam Childers, freshman tight end from here in Tallahassee, who played most of the first half, and you can see exactly how Childers feels about not having held on to that pass. Whiting now in the ball game at tailback, 27. 30, Keith Kennedy also in the ball game as a running back, as a lot of number 2s are playing offense now for Florida State. Number 3s in this case. Movement along the offensive line. Flag goes down. Running play with Kennedy on the football, got a yard. And the official will signify a legal procedure against Florida State. 3:29 remaining. This is the 3rd time this year that the Seminoles in Florida State have scored as many as 38 points. They had a great offense a year ago, and offensive coordinator George Hafner told us yesterday this year's offense was better, more efficient, made fewer mistakes. It is 3rd down, 8 yards to go. Jimmy Jordan throws the quick look in, complete to Grady King, and King, the tight end, is across the 35 to the 37-yard line before Bobby Wilson brings him down. A 17-yard gain, another first down for the Seminoles. You might think that Wally Woodham would feel badly, having been lifted and replaced by Jordan and having watched Jordan have a great performance, but that is not the case. The two are fraternity brothers, close friends, went to the same high school together here in Tallahassee, and they honestly do root for each other to do well. Bill Keck, the tight end, was the intended receiver on that play. Pass went incomplete. Good play by Chuck Zingler, number 36, junior cornerback from Medford Lakes, New Jersey, who came into this ball game with 4 interceptions and had a little difficulty against Sam Platt.
Quarterback situation, when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. Jimmy Jordan has been warm this afternoon.
14 of 25, 264 yards, 4 touchdowns in the ball game. He's still throwing. Well, that time Childers just didn't look around in time. Pass was right there.
I know what's happening. Those receivers are just tired of going out. They've been throwing the ball so much today. They've dropped several that he's had right in the hands. They're just tired. They're worn out.
In the last 2 series, Platt has dropped 1 and Childers has dropped 2. Jimmy's statistics, which are sensational, should be even better than they are.
You know, it's amazing to look at Jordan. You know, throwing the ball 25 times, completing 14 for 264, 4 TDs. 8 touchdowns is what I threw my senior year.
Michael Whiting with the football on the reverse, and that time Navy smelled it and stopped him short of first down yardage. So on 4th down, 10, Ron Stark will come on to punt for Florida State. There are 2 minutes, 39 seconds remaining in the football game with the clock ticking.
You ever thought what we say sometimes? You said he smelled it. What did it smell like?
Smelled the play? I don't know. About to smell like a reverse. I don't know, Davis. You played football. What do they smell like?
I don't know.
Sandy Jones deep to receive for Navy as Stark goes back to kick it for Florida State. You're right. It's a silly thing to say. And Jones will make the fair catch at his 27-yard line. So it is first down for Navy at their 27-yard line. And right now, let's take care of a piece of business, Davis. Chevrolet offensive and defensive players of the game. The Chevrolet Defensive Player of the Game award is going to go to the man who changed the tempo of this football game early in the second half with his play in the middle of the Florida State defensive line. It's not a new honor for him. He won it before, earlier this year when Florida State played Miami on TV. And he is number 50, Ron Simmons, the nose guard of FSU. He's not in there right now as the number 2 Florida State defenders wrap up Bobby Powers on the attempted option play. Powers loses a couple. It'll be second down Navy from the 25. So the Chevy defensive player of the game is Ron Simmons of Florida State. You agree with that, David?
Oh, that's definitely true, because his ability to put pressure on the running game of Navy, his ability to go up down the line, and we've said his name so many times this afternoon, a great player, and I saw him earlier in the year, and he's got a bright, bright future ahead of him in collegiate football.
After this play, the offensive player of the game. Second down 12. 42. Walker with the football. Dropped in his backfield. 62, Charles Ferguson, has made several tackles since he's been in there. The offensive players of the game, we're going to choose the passing combination of Jordan to Platt. The two are virtually inseparable today in terms of their effect on the football game. The 3 touchdown passes from Jimmy Jordan to Sam Platt provided the big explosion that propelled Florida State toward this victory over Navy. There's Simmons. He was the Chevrolet defensive player of the game. And Powers overthrows Matt McLaughlin well downfield. So now it will be 4th down. There is Platt. There along with Simmons. Platt, one of the 2 offensive players of the game we've chosen as we give the award to the passing combination of Jimmy Jordan to Sam Platt.
It's been a fun game.
I like to watch the team throw the football.
Navy's got to be happy, though. They've had a great season. It's not over. They're going to go somewhere and play in a bowl.
Well, they got their own little bowl game against Army first. Gary Henry deep to receive as Ohanian hits the punt for Navy, and Henry's just going to watch it as it gets a Navy roll down to the Florida State 31-yard line. A happy homecoming day for Florida State for the 13th time in the last 16 years. Florida State has won their homecoming game. There are 45 seconds remaining in the football game. That was a 45-yard punt for Ohanian, and Jimmy Jordan is still on the field as the Florida State quarterback. He gets a hand from the remaining crowd here in Doak Campbell Stadium as he goes out there. Some say he looks like Huckleberry Finn. Give on first down to Ernie Sims, sophomore from Tampa, and Sims has a pickup of about 7. Tom Paulk made the stop. I want to take this opportunity to thank my statistician, Bill Werndell, a spotter, Steve Bazika, who will be going from here to Houston for the Monday night game, Florida State Highway Patrolman Tommy Owens, who's been our escort around here this week, and who takes Jimmy Jordan out once a week because Jimmy is a criminology student here at Florida State. Number 82 with the catch is Lawrence Strange, and Strange in the ball game is a wide receiver. Goes into Navy territory at the 46 as Jordan pads his statistics just a little bit. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, clock running. There will be nothing else. Florida State has wrapped up a 38-6 victory over Navy. You look at Bobby Bowden going across the field. We'll be